Whenever a potential new client approaches me about a slip and fall or a premises liability where they've been injured while visiting some premises, one of the most important things we address, obviously after whether or not they're injured, is whether or not there was negligence, whether the owner of that premises did something to cause my client or my potential client to become injured, or whether they failed to do something that would have prevented that injury. And the question becomes, how do we prove that negligence? How do we ultimately, if we end up in front of a jury, prove to the jury that the premises owner was in fact negligent? Well, there are various ways to do that. First and foremost, I always ask my client, or again, my potential client, whether or not they were able to document the scene. What do I mean by that? Did they take pictures? Did they have someone with them that saw them fall or become injured, or who can testify ultimately in front of a jury as to what it was that caused the client to fall or become injured, or whether something fell on them? The other part of documentation is photographs. A long time ago, we had big cameras that we had to carry around, that we took them on vacation or we took them to kids' birthday parties, and we only used them for certain events. In this modern world, everyone, and I mean everyone, walks around with a very good and high quality camera in their pocket. So if you become injured on a premises, or in a building, or you're walking across a field and something happens to you, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is make sure that you're okay, and make sure that if you need immediate medical attention that you get it. But if you're able to, get that phone out of your pocket and take some photographs. Take a photograph of what it was that caused your injury. If it's a box that fell on you from a high shelf, take a picture of the other boxes on the shelf. If you fell because of a puddle or because of a spill, take a picture of that puddle, take a picture of that spill. If there's something sticking out that tripped you, take a picture of it, because a photograph that was taken at the time of the injury is the most powerful piece of evidence that we're going to have to present to a jury maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 3 years down the road. We're going to take all this documentation and we're going to, in most cases, present it to some type of an expert. We may hire an engineer. There are various types of experts that can look at evidence and look at a scene where someone was injured and tell us whether there was negligence. Was that negligence because they failed to do things they should have done, or because they failed to meet code, or was the building improperly or poorly designed? Those are all things that an engineer can tell us and will ultimately testify to a jury. So again, I ask you, if you're ever injured out there, number one, foremost, make sure you're okay. Take care of yourself. Get out of traffic if you're in traffic. Get out of the way of other people so you don't become further injured. Make sure that if you're able to document, that you do document. Use that camera in your pocket. Talk to witnesses, get their names, get their phone numbers so that you or we can reach out to them and talk to them and properly document what happened to you, so that when we present your case to a jury, we will have the strongest evidence.